Boom, 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 boom. Who's back again? It's me. Boom, 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 boom. Back with another video. Boom, boom, boom. Hello. Hi, everyone. How y'all doing? I'm Michael, in between, whatever you want to call it. I am back again for another video of me talking about things that I like, that I'm passionate about. Because things that I'm passionate about give me motivation, they give me life, they give me zest, they give me passion. So, yeah, and it's a subject that I think has been weighing on my mind about a certain piece of media that is near and dear to my heart. And that would be Cats 2019, directed by Mr. Tom Hooper. Now, whenever I think of this film, it's one of the times I'm kind of on my bullshit, because I think it's something that's completely unique to me. I think it's something that I would only understand to a certain degree, because like certain movies, they just hit like nothing else. You know, it understands your sensibilities, your proclivities, they feel like they're personally made for you. Like someone went into a lab, imagine like, I don't know, this is a test tube or some shit, I don't know. But someone in the lab, they poured some like sulfate and like chemicals, mixed it around, and then they, engineered a movie for you based on your taste and sensibilities. And Cats is certainly one of them. In fact, it's probably the epitome of that. And I think the reasoning for it is simple to me, but I feel like when I try to explain it to people, or when they hear I love it so much, people are like, oh, you like cats? Like, why? And I think, explaining why it changed my life, or how it changed my life, or my history with it, will sort of help me reach a resounding sort of resolve with it and catharsis for me, and also you, the viewer, kind of get more insight into why I love this movie so much. So let's backtrack a bit. It all started back in 2019. It was December. The day was bright. It was summery, and it was the day I was going to see Cats. Now, prior to me seeing it, I had very weird feelings about it. I think I went on a bent where I was kind of very skeptical of it. I was like, oh, this is going to be terrible, going to be bad. And then it gradually, the more I heard about it, the more I was prone to giving it a chance and actually going into it with an open mind and, operate in good faith. Because people were saying, oh, it's like a midnight movie, it's a cult movie, go into it expecting like a really deranged, freeform type of story and you'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, I'll, reshape my expectations a bit and we'll just go in. We'll just see how it is. So I walked to the theatre. It was on George Street in Sydney. And I walked to the theatre. It was 12 o'clock session, I want to say. I can't remember the specifics, but anyway, I went to see my friend Maxon. Shout out Maxon, you're a G, you're a real one. But yeah, so I went in, we sat down, went for the ads, and then the film started. And I just sat there in awe and amazement. I sat there thinking, wow, I have never, and I stress this, I have never seen a film like this before. It was completely foreign to me. I'd never seen something that was so kind of deranged but sentimental, but experimental but traditional, soulful, just plain strangeness from beginning to end. And the camera work, the effects, the world, the staging, it was all so imbued with a sense of strangeness, and it was just foreign to me. I'd never seen anything like that. And in that moment, I knew I just liked this thing. I knew something about it spoke to me. The glitz, the glamour, the spectacle, the grandiosity of it all. Something about it spoke to me on a primal, visceral level. As those of you who are close to me know, or just follow me on Letterboxd, you know I'm a very sentimental, I'm very much in my feelings all the time. I'm very sensitive. I saw Last Night in Soho again in theaters earlier today, and I cried like a little baby. I will be frank about that. I cried. So movies do this to me often. I get emotional and especially emotional over things that I don't think other people would. And so I was sitting in this theater, and where the sequence after the Jellicle Ball, where Victoria is trying to get through to Grisabella and sort of have a heart-to-heart, I have to admit, I kind of teared up a bit. So it hit me in this very, sort of weird, emotional way, and I'd never really gotten that dichotomy from a movie before. Most people, when they see Cats, they kind of get reviled. They kind of get, ugh. Get that away from me, man. Like, I don't want to touch it, They just get repelled by it. They don't want to have anything to do with it. And that's okay. Not everyone is going to like a movie. In fact, not every movie is made for someone. There are specificities with certain films that only appeal to a certain group. And Cats is definitely an example of that. So, over time, I think the film kept taking shape in my mind more and more sort of emphatically. It became something where it consumed me to my core. I realized this movie was me. It is me, the movie. And what I mean by this is that it's like someone took my mind, someone took my brain, and they put it in a motion picture. All the obscenities, vulgarities, beauty, horror, the songs, the style of it, the Victorian, psychedelic sort of aesthetic of it, the camera movement, it's like it mirrors my brain. It's all syncs with my brain really well. And I don't get that often with many films. I can think of films like Raggedy Ann as one where I'm like, holy shit, that really, syncs with my brain. And since I have ADHD, a lot of films I watch, I do kind of lose attention and I have difficulty with them. But films like Raggedy Ann and Cats, it's like, it makes me, it kind of overlaps my disability, which is really weird. And yeah, I guess it's just in rhythm with me. And the jokes and all the dialogue just feel like concoctions in my brain that I've sort of come up with, seldom to myself. I don't really say it to anyone else, but things that I would think about, and now it was being actualized in front of me, and people can't expect me not to get involved in it. And I'm just like, man, this is my home. This is where I belong. It feels like I've been inducted to this Jellicle cult that's specifically been made for me. And this realization came to me more recently than back when I saw it in 2019. The more I've grown as a person, the more I have kind of discovered myself, become more confident, more in touch with my emotions, the more I've sort of admitted to myself that this thing knows my proclivities like a motherfucker. Yeah, I guess it feels like the type of film where you go into the night and you go on this wonderful, weird adventure that you'll never forget. Who knows if you'll come out on the other side. It completely immerses you in its grandiosity and its beauty. And I, for one, take the trip every time. It feels so cathartic to me. All these sort of untapped emotions, wanting to belong to something, or self-actualizing through a movement or a sort of spiritualism that's entrenched within a cult. These things do speak to me on a very visceral level. I think the film opts for transcendence and hope and love, and it's very anti-cynicism, and people want films which remind them that they're mature and that they're adult. Like for instance, like Marvel films, they'll have a bunch of quips and lines that are kind of ironic and point out the sort of silliness and hilarity of the situation, which makes everyone feel like, ooh, I'm watching something mature and grown up. Like people like that. But me personally, I don't really respond to that type of filmmaking. I like things that really embrace their silliness or childishness or like heightened hyperbolic tone, camp, whatever you want to call it. I love films that go for that jugular and really own it, and thus creates its own unique language. And Cats is a film that does that and way more. All the songs, like, they're all stuck in my head all the time. I'm walking down the street, just like, moving along, just down the street. And, like the Rum Tum Tugger will just come into my head out of nowhere. Just like, the Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat. Like, just... sorry. It's just, that's how it happens. I'm just walking down the street and that fucking shit happens. But it's in a good way. It's in a really good way. But yeah, actually, I'll be back in a second. Hold on. I have this t-shirt that says I am a Cats fan or something like that. Like, Cats is a good movie. I'll get it really quick. Just wait for me. See, I wanted to mainly do this video just to show this t-shirt. Because I think it's very much worth it. Because it's a phenomenal t-shirt. I don't wear it often. But it's golden. Now, if this shows up on the camera, I hope this doesn't fuck me over. But yeah, it says Cats 2019 is a good movie. So, there you go. I have a t-shirt that proclaims my love for this critically reviled, disgraced film. So, go fig. But yeah, I've become full circle in owning it, and I think since Cats is basically me coming to terms with myself outside of Cats and in my own life, correlates to me liking the film more. Because I feel like me and Cats are kindred spirits. We are two spirits flowing in a river. We are an amalgamation of the same consciousness. We are everything and nothing at all. Cats is just like nothing else. It is everything I dreamed the world to be. It is utopia. It is dysphoria. It is everything in between. Cats kind of saved my life. After seeing Cats, I think it really gave me such hope and compassion for the world. It made me see things in a more beautiful way. Just made me connect more to others and be more compassionate and empathetic. Like all the songs of these cats sort of confessing, their trials and doubts and fears and hopes. It really spoke to me, as sort of deranged and as silly as a lot of the lyrics are and a lot of the traits these cats possess. They do speak to me on a primal level, because I have those exact same thoughts, albeit not in the same context, mind you. I'm not in a jellicle cult. I mean, I kind of wish I was, but I'm not in an actual jellicle cult. But I think the great thing about art is that regardless of the context or the specificity of the dialogue or the lyrics, you can attach your own meaning onto it. You can divorce it. A song like Beautiful Ghosts works entirely outside of its context for me, because I think about other people's achievements and like, God, you've done all this stuff, and what have I done? And this society or this group of people is all I have. I heavily relate to that, and that when I refer to that, I'm talking about people on Twitter I've met. Shout out to Susie, Allison, some of my Discord Letterboxd friends like Cecil, Everlyn, Shia, Lee. Sorry if I haven't mentioned you, but I'm just going off the top of my head. But I love you guys all. My life wouldn't be the same without you. You feel like my own jellicle ball, jellicle club, jellicle cult. I don't know how I would say that, but yeah, that movie Cats allowed me to reach out more and find my own group of people, you know, and I think it's spoke to me. And if it has done a similar thing for you, if you do respond to it in a way where you're like, holy shit, this movie really speaks to me, or I love its weirdness or its derangement, then, reach out in the comments, tell me what you think of it, like how it has affected you. If you're the type to get up on your bed and sing Skimble Shanks for the whole world to hear, I want to fucking hear it. Okay, I don't want any of this like reserved little like, it's like an alright movie. No, I want you to tell me how much it means to you, because it means a lot to me. And I'm the type that will recite the addressing of Cats and believe every word with utmost sincerity. I am that type of dude, that type of person. So, yeah, and look, let's be honest. Like, I think Cats is a very non-binary, trans type of film for me, because it dilutes like gender and sort of like humanity, and uses sort of like the blurring of identity and sort of the welcoming of artificiality and the uncanny valley to sort of like create this beautiful sort of like fantastical world. And it really speaks to sort of the progression I made in finding my own identity and being able to just own my deranged weird self. And my brain works in a very sort of heightened, sort of strange, deranged way, and Cats just gets that, and it's an essential part of my being, of my identity, of who I am. And if everyone hates it, that's fine. I honestly couldn't care less. I've come to the point where I'm just like, yep, this is made for me and no one else. And to the people that love it, great, you're on the right side of history. But people don't like it, I understand. It's okay to not like things, but when it's all I hear non-stop, it can get a bit much for me, because I did struggle at one point navigating sort of like my feelings on it and sort of being confident in it, because I felt quite devalued and sort of scrutinized for it, liking the film. I thought people would think I'm inferior, but thoughts like that hold you back and make you fearful, and I've learnt that's not the way to go. So now I'm just in complete adoration and I adore it so much. So yeah, that's kind of how Cats changed my life. It's a brilliant, strange movie. It is everything. I think the world of it, as you could probably tell. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe. Check out some of my other stuff. I did a rant on like film criticism on online spaces, so if you want to check out that, then go for it. I hope to do more content similar to this, maybe a scripted video sometime in the future. We'll see. I'm not sure, but I'm very much anywhere the wind blows type of person. I'm very like, ooh, I'll think to start on this, and then I'll get sidetracked, and then I don't do it, and then something else starts, and then that blows over. Anyway, I'm a bit of a mess like that, but we get through it. We get shit done eventually. That's how it goes. Anyway, thanks so much, guys, for watching, not walking, and I'll see you in the next one.